A couple of years ago, it was decided that the old Heron corn mill at Beetham should be restored, a mill built originally in 1220 alongside a fast-flowing river. Generally regarded by experts as one of the best examples remaining of a water-driven corn mill, it still possesses its original machinery. Experts reckoned it would cost £30,000 to put the mill in working order, but eventually it's hoped that flour will be milled there on a commercial basis. Trustee Geoffrey Thompson explained the mill's history.
Well, this mill was founded in about 1220. As you know, there's a pattern for the history of corn milling. This area of South Westmoreland was in effect owned by the de Beetham family, and they of course lived at Beetham Hall. And then the Norman church was built in the village, followed shortly afterwards by a corn mill. And the corn mill is here because outside you will see there's a natural fault in the rock, which is an obvious source of water power. 1220, then 100 years later there was a second corn mill across the river, which of course is the site of our present paper mill.
And then this mill has been in continuous use, has it, since that time?
Continuous use until 1958. Then it closed in 1958.
Well, now, what about the decision to rebuild it? Did it entail a great deal of work, the rebuilding of it?
Well, when we first had the building surveyed, the architect reported that the hearse frame was in very good condition. The outside walls were sound, but of course the floors had all gone. A lot of the woodwork had to be replaced. The walls were covered in ivy. The outside was heavily overgrown with trees and shrubbery. And the company decided that this would be a well worthwhile piece of building to restore.
Now, I understand you achieved what must in these days seem almost a miracle. You estimated the cost was going to be 30,000, but in fact it hasn't cost you that. How have you done it?
It cost about £11,500. This is mainly due to the fact that we got a tremendous amount of voluntary labour. We had a large number of young people from the mill, from the villages, working weekend after weekend, doing all the heavy work on clearing the site, tidying the place, and of course labour is the biggest element of our costs. Our architect also waived his fees, which of course is a very big saving.
Well, you mentioned labour. What about a miller? I mean, millers don't grow on trees these days.
No, we are terribly fortunate in having at our disposal one of the foremen for the paper mill, Mr. Harry Shaw, who was kindly offered to act as curator when he retires very shortly. So he will be looking after the place, making sure that it runs efficiently, opening it to the public, and generally looking after it for us.
Is it going to be a commercial mill in the sense that the flour you produce from it you're going to sell?
We hope that we shall produce something commercially. It is not envisaged that the mill will run all the time, but it should run sufficient time to make flour for sale.